Thank you for that amazing introduction.
You're very welcome. How are you doing?
I'm feeling so excited that I'm in front of each and every one of you. It's my first time in Lagos and it's been absolutely amazing. So thank you guys for the love. I feel it. I feel it.
We're so happy to have you. How does it feel being at GTCO Fashion Weekend, walking around, seeing everything? How do you feel?
Just excited. I'm ready to spend my money. I'm ready to buy things. I'm ready to see things. I'm ready to see the fashion, the beauty, and all of it.
Yes. Okay, so let's take it back because everybody knows Jourdan Dunn, model, successful fashion entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But let's take it back to your early life, actually being scouted. So you were scouted at Primark back in 2006? Or 2000 and you were 16 years old.
15, so 2005.
15 years old.
Yeah.
So Primark, for anybody who doesn't know, I was trying to look for a Nigerian equivalent to localize it. I would say she was scouted at Ebano, just to give context. So how did that feel? Just talk us through that process.
So when I got scouted, it was okay, so let me just run you through the day. It was a half day at school, and my friends wanted to go out, go shopping. By the time we got to Primark, I was over it. I wanted to go home. And so we just went, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll go. And this woman just kept clocking us and just watching, and I was just like, why is she looking at us? Like, does she think we're gonna steal in Primark? I don't know, like, what's going on? And then she approached me and she was like, have you ever thought about modeling? And at the time I was like, yeah, kind of, because it was around the time when America's Next Top Model was on, and I was like heavily invested. And that's when I was thinking, oh, maybe I could do this, but I don't know. So then when she showed me her card and told me who she was, and I was like, oh, this is like a legit, proper, big-time agency. They have Kate Moss. I was like, she just said Kate Moss, and I already knew. So the next day, not even the next day, once she gave me her card, I went home, told my mom, we called them, and I went down the next day, and they like signed me on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 15 years old, you're signed, and your life changes.
Yeah.
What impact did that have on you?
So yeah, I was 15, and at the time, it was around deciding if I was going to go college or not. And so I had this opportunity. I was like, actually, I'm not going to go college. I'm just going to fully immerse myself in the fashion industry. So I was excited for that aspect. But then the industry is full of older people. I'm 15. I'm a teenager. And yeah, it's amazing that I'm traveling and I'm working, but then I felt like, in a way, the industry was taken away from me experiencing being a teen. Rather than hanging out with my friends, I'm getting told that I need to go to this event with all these adults. I'm like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go there. Like, no, I want to just like hang with my friends. And so even when it came back to traveling the world, walking these amazing shows, coming back home, my friends were super excited, and I would like not talk about the industry just because I just wanted to feel normal. So I just like, tell me what's going on with college, like who you seeing, what's going on, da 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 da. And yeah, in a way, I definitely had in the beginning of my career resentment towards my career because I felt like I was missing out. But then I also know they're probably looking at me and thinking, girl, we wish that we were you and traveling in New York and all of that. But I was like, no, I just want to be a teen and get up to what teenagers do.
And speaking of that, you know, like people looking on the outside and thinking that everything is perfect, you know. So today, this is a very refreshing topic that we're talking about mental health, because it's easy to look at you and think, okay, she's perfect, her life is perfect. How would she have any problems? Why did you choose to talk about this, and what has been your experience?
So so with my mental health, it's definitely been a journey with everybody, but I feel like when you are thrown in it at such a young age, and the position that I'm in where I'm a model, where it's like my insecurities are celebrated, so being tall and skinny is celebrated, but growing up, being from the black community, being from the Caribbean, that's not. It's all about that nash. It's all about that, you know, that body, and I didn't have any of that. So I had the insecurity of like wearing certain clothes and being put on a spotlight, because growing up, my friends would be like, let's go out. And I would make up excuses saying that my mom won't allow me just because I didn't want to be seen. Like every time I went out, I always felt that people were just, eyes are on me and judging me. And yeah, I just was at a stage where I just did not enjoy being in my body. I felt uncomfortable. And then I'm now a model, and it's all about the body, it's all about the face, and that's what I'm selling. So I really had to learn, the most important thing I've learned about self-love, because it does stem from self-love, is self-acceptance. And it's like, for me, anytime I saw a comment, it made sense to me because that was already my mindset. So it's like, yeah, I would see something about, oh, chicken legs or skinny or this or that, and I'd be like, yeah, that's confirmation, because that's how I already feel. So I always feel with your mindset, if you're going to think something, I mean, we all know about like thinking positive, and whatever you think comes to reality. My mindset was very negative about myself, so I believe that people were then showing me like, this is your truth, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I had to just learn to love myself, but on a deeper level. It wasn't even just about affirmations in the mirror. It was like, okay, what does self-love actually look like? It actually means acceptance. I think the main thing is acceptance, because then once you accept you, then you're showing others will then accept you for who you are. And if they don't, you don't care, because you're that girl, and yeah, no one can tell you anything. But it's a journey, though. It's a journey.
It is a journey. So in terms of, you've broken barriers. When I called you a barrier breaker, that's because you are, and the kind of things that people might not know. So you were the first black model to walk for Prada in a decade. What was that like? Did you feel pressure, or did you feel like you're reopening the door?
In the moment, I wasn't really present because I didn't know. So in the moment, I didn't feel how big it was. It felt like, for me, I just want to make sure that I'm confirmed for the show and I'm walking on that runway, because Prada at the time was notorious for canceling girls in the lineup. So I was just like on my P's and Q's and just looking over. I'm like, okay, is Russell Mask gonna come and tap me and say you have to go, even though I'm in full glam? So I was like just on edge. And it wasn't until I got to the top of the line and the casting director like held me. He's like, Jourdan, this is your moment. You're about to make history. And then I was like, wait, what? Huh? Okay. And then I went on the runway, and then like I felt the energy. It was just like overwhelming. And that's when I was like, oh wow, like this is happening. This is actual history that's is actually happening right now. And then the next day it was all over the papers, and I was like, oh, this actually just happened. Okay. But then now, as I'm older, like, yes, that's amazing, but then I feel like it is quite sad that that's something that we get excited about and we champion, but it's like, wow, a decade. Really, it is quite sad. And we still have these conversations today, and it's like, okay, so when are we gonna, the needle has been moving, but when is it not gonna just be the norm, you know?
I guess that's what we're still fighting for.
Yeah, that's what we're still championing for.
Yes, but being on the continent and seeing, you know, all black models and African models, and
I love
a
that.
lot of them look up to you. And I think in terms of success, sometimes the journey seems difficult or seems long. What kind of advice would you give to a young Nigerian model who is here in the audience or who is watching live streaming, in terms of not only their modeling journey, but also blocking out the noise? Because you came up in a more quiet time, I think, without the pressures of social media. But now there's a lot of comparison.
Yeah, you know what? I would just say, if this is your passion, if this is something that you desire, just never, ever, ever give up. And I think it's important to stay focused on your lane, on your journey, and not look left and not look right and look at what that girl's doing or what that other person's doing, because that's their path, that's their journey. And comparisons just kills everything. So it's all about just focusing on you, getting to your destination, because the way that they're going to get it is going to be completely different. So if it's something that you really want to do, I just say just don't give up. Like, never, ever give up.
So being named Model of the Year and then being named Entrepreneur of the Year, did you make a conscious decision that you didn't want to just be a face, but you wanted the business angle? And if so, how did you approach that?
So they got to a point where I was a bit overwhelmed with everything. I was overwhelmed with all of the love that I was receiving, but then also I would, like, in my DMs were packed with girls, and they would say, oh, I wish I could just be like you, and I don't know, I wish I could, yeah, I started feeling quite bad for my position, like, oh, maybe what I'm doing is not right. I'm, like, highlighting people's insecurities, or I don't know, I just started to feel like posting a selfie, what is that really doing? Maybe I don't do that. Maybe, like, what is my actual purpose? Is this actually, what is this giving? And it's not until I realized that actually bringing beauty into the world, being an inspiration and being, like, bringing art in the pages of magazines, and when people see that, that inspires them, and making sure that there's women that are represented, that inspires hope and inspires dreams. So it's like, actually, no, beauty actually is a very high vibrational thing, where it's inspirational and it, like, fills people up. I know when I see a sunset, when I see food, when I see flowers, like, it inspires me. So I had to flip it on its head and be like, actually, what I'm doing, this is my purpose, and I can use my platform to speak on things like mental health or sickle cell or being a young mom at a time, you know? So I started to look at it as not as a negative, but beauty is everything, and we see it all around us, and it's all about enhancing that and inspiring people.
Beautiful. You mentioned sickle cell, and that's a disease that a lot of Nigerians and Africans suffer from. How did you navigate that as a young mother?
It's yeah, because it's my son, and it's something that I don't feel, and I witness it, it's so hard, because it's like, in the beginning, I blamed myself and had shame, because I knew I was I have the trait, and his father had the trait. But in my head, I was like, oh yeah, yes, those are the chances, but it's not going to happen to me. Like, whatever. And then it did happen. I was like, oh wow, okay. It was like the realization of it all, and seeing him go through his challenges. Yeah, it's difficult. But then I flip it. I always look at the positive at things, and I'm like, you know what? I believe that with my platform, I'm allowed to use it to spread awareness, and that's what we need, to spread awareness, and for people to have someone that is speaking for them. So I'm like a voice piece for my son and all the other sickle cell warriors out there. So I, like, take it in my stride and be like, yeah, no, this is a good thing.
Yeah. Can you get a round of applause? Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. And so when I was doing my research on you, I wanted to have some stats, right? And I was like, how many Vogue covers has she been on? And I couldn't count, because you've been on so many. And so people looking at you and thinking, wow, did you ever envision that this would be your life? Did you ever envision that you would work so much?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Done it.
But it's a different thing from, like, visioning it and manifesting for it to then it actually happening is two different things. So, like, when I was younger, I always knew I was going to be, not I was going to be someone, because I am every single person is someone, but I just knew that I was going to have a different journey than from my friends. I just knew that I want to be a creative. And so, yeah, I was manifesting when I didn't even know what that even meant. But then when it was happening, it was like, wow, this is really my life. This is really happening. But what I really do want to touch on is that I had a list of all the goals that I wanted to achieve in my career. And it was walk for VS, Victoria's Secret. It was to have my Vogue covers, and it was to have a Maybelline contract. And I was very specific. I wanted a Maybelline contract. And I ticked all of those boxes. But then I was still unhappy. I was still sad. I achieved everything, but I still felt empty. And that's when I feel like my journey to self really took place. Because at the time, my manager was like, Jourdan, you need to take a step back and just focus on you. You need to go to a retreat and just reconnect and discover you and connect with yourself again. And I did that, and I realized that you can't attach happiness to a thing. You can't attach happiness to a partner, a relationship, a job, losing weight. I'll be happy once I lose a few pounds, or I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or you'll get that. I'm saying that I got all that stuff, but I was still unhappy. So it was about actually connecting with myself and realizing that I can't get it from outside. It's all about within. And it's difficult. Not a lot of people don't want to do that. Like looking at yourself and wanting to learn about you and accept you is so hard and so difficult. That's why a lot of people don't do it. But I made a decision that I don't want to feel like this anymore. I want to change. I want to feel comfortable in my body. I want to be grateful for everything. Till this day, every time I get a job, I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful that people want to work with me. People are like, I'm here in Lagos with everybody. Like, this is amazing. Like, so I was like, I need to do the inner work, because I'm having everything. My life looks picture perfect to people from the outside, but it really wasn't. So I really would say it's so important to do that inner work and to not attach your happiness to things, because you can't.
Thank you so much. That's so powerful. What does inner work actually look like?
Yeah. I mean, so I thought that self-love was just all about, having a bath, reading, a spa day, saying I love you in the mirror, all of that stuff. And that is part of it. Self-care is you need to look after yourself, your mind, your body, your soul. I truly believe that self-love, the inner work, is about your shadow self, the parts of you that you don't want nobody to see. But we have to face ourselves, and we have to accept ourselves, because if we don't accept ourselves or love ourselves, how are we going to let anybody else love ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, how? How can we expect somebody else if we don't? So it's messy, and there's a lot of tears, and you feel like once you've healed one thing, another thing comes, but it's a journey, and I don't feel like there's anyone that is completely healed. It's like you keep on going. And I think that's the journey of life. That's what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
But it's worth it, though. I feel like it's worth it. When you're self-aware, like having awareness, when you're self-aware, I've noticed that there's people that are not aware and are just blindly just hurting people because they're hurt themselves. But the only way you can go through it, only way you can get out of it is to go through it. Because you just like hiding it and putting pressure on it, you're bound to just blow. So I've learned to just surrender and to accept my situation. It may not be perfect, but you know what? I accept it for what it is. I'm willing to do what I need to do to get through it. And I feel like you just need to make that choice. Once you make that choice, like, I no longer want to feel like this anymore. I no longer want to feel like this anymore. I need to be my higher self. That's when you will then make the steps and the choices and actions to be that person. Because it's so easy to just be in your misery. I realized that I loved being miserable. It was comforting. I could easily say I didn't want to go to an event because I had strong anxiety, being outside and being seen by people, it gave me anxiety. So for me, it was like so easy to hold on to that because it felt comfortable, it felt cozy. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do that because I have anxiety, like that feels good. But no, actually, I don't want to feel comfortable. Even speaking in front of you guys is very uncomfortable for me, but I also know that it's part of my purpose. I'm supposed to share and speak my truth and hope that it may reach one or two or how many of you that it's going to resonate for each other. But yeah, man, I feel like it's about being uncomfortable, stepping forward, and just not letting you be your biggest hater.
Yes, that's a quote. That's
Yeah.
quotable. Can you talk us through some unhealthy practices in the industry that affect mental health for models?
Unhealthy.
Unhealthy practices.
Or
Or experiences that you think could be labeled as toxic and that models need to know how to protect themselves from?
I would just say, and I feel like in any industry can relate to it, is just running on empty and not feeling shame and guilt for taking a step back and actually resting. Like resting is very, very key. Not doing anything, you're doing something. So in the beginning, you want to be able to, you want to book this amount of shows. I remember one season I walked about 80 shows. Now that's unheard of. Girls don't really do that. But it's just that I need to do this. It's just that need and want. It's like, actually, no, you need to lay your ass down and rest and eat and look after yourself. And that's the key, is to looking after yourself. And especially in the industry, some girls are unfortunate where they don't have an amazing support system. They don't have an agency that really cares for them. I'm lucky enough that from the beginning, I've always had that. And my mom, I make sure that the people around me, my glam team, everyone that's in my circle is supportive and is who's got my back fully. And unfortunately, some girls don't have that. So it's like, you have to have your own back. You look after you. Because if you don't, then what?
I love that. Let's talk about social media. We touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but I think social media is such a force, and we have a lot of young people who look at the success of people, look at the highlights reel. What has been your relationship with social media? How do you protect your mental and let's just talk about Instagram.
Yeah, I've had in the past a love and hate for social media. I loved it in the beginning because here's this new thing called Instagram where I get to control the narrative and I get to put up images that I feel that represents me, because when you're a model, you don't have that control. You're not you. You are the muse of whatever creative director, stylist wants you to be. So I was like, oh wow, I love this. I get to post what I want, show me. But then what comes with that, when you put yourself out there, you get comments and you get people that want to nitpick and all of that stuff. So it was difficult, especially because I was out searching on Twitter, searching my name and searching for the negativity. It's like, I just feel like humans sometimes are so addicted to negativity. It's like I would see all the positive comments. It's like, no. Oh, chicken legs, skinny bitch, ugly. I'm going to hold on to that, but I'm not going to hold on to all the love and all of the goodness, but I want to hold on to the negativity. And I was like, no, this is toxic. This is not good. First of all, I had to think to myself, why am I searching? That means I'm looking for outside what's the word I'm looking for?
Outside validation.
Validation, sorry, my mind just went. Yeah, I'm looking at it from the outside. I was like, nah, we need to stop doing that. If I say I look good and I felt good, no one can't tell me nothing. So I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop anything that I consider that is unhealthy for me, certain accounts. I'm not going to follow. I'm going to make sure the same way that I protect my space with people, I'm going to also do that when it comes to social media. So then I stopped following certain blogs, anything that was negative. I got to a stage where I was like, I'm not going to feed my mind with any negativity. So I made that decision to do that. And then also I decided to look at it as a positive because I was starting to really resent what social media was. Again, I was getting messages from women from all over the world, and I was starting to feel a bit shame that my images were making them feel that way. But then I was like, okay, but also my images can make them feel another way. It can give them hope. It can inspire them. I used to always look at girls who would post a selfie and then have like their caption would be like some kind of quote. And I'd be like, that's giving false. Why that selfie with that quote? But now I get it. I understand it. Because when I read things, it inspires me. So I was like, you know what? Let me flip it on its head. This can be a positive thing. I'm going to make it a positive space for me and also for people that follow me or happen to come across my page. Like, what can they get out of it? And same way for me, when I'm on scrolling, what can I get out of it? Because, yeah, spending too much time on social media can be, very counterproductive. But then also, I see things that makes me want to, if it's a recipe, or if it's a quote, or if it's an affirmation, it inspires me. I want to save it. So that's how I now view it. But yeah, it was very much a journey. I very much did not enjoy social media, but now I see it as it's an amazing tool if you know how to work it. I just learned you have to work it and not allow it to work you. So once I had that mindset, I'm like, okay, I can get with it.
And you cook a lot. Is that part of your self-love, self-care?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I love food. I love cooking. And where am I going? Food, cooking.
Yeah, it was the fly. Food, cooking. I look at your...
That's part of that's to me, when I'm in the kitchen and I'm like, let's say if it's Sunday dinner, I feel connected to like my ancestors. I feel connected to my grandma when I've like seasoned my meat from the night before and I have my music on. I'm like, oh wow, like I feel like my grandma's with me right now. She's helping me like seasoning. It's like a whole ritual. Like I legit treat everything like a ritual. So cooking to me is a ritual that I enjoy, that makes me feel grounded and feels good. And I just love cooking for my friends and family as well. Like that's legit my love language, to like service people.
Beautiful. Your career has spanned almost 17 years. Yeah.
Damn.
I know. How does it feel, and what dreams and hopes do you still have in terms of the territory that you want to take?
I mean, there's still so much. Even though I have done so much, there's still so much I haven't done. There's still shows that I haven't walked for, campaigns that I haven't done, and I still have a love for fashion, and I still have that passion, and I'm still like, yeah, there's still more for me to do. So as long as I'm still welcome and people still want to book me, I'm still going to be on these runways and, doing a thing. But also I realize now that I just want to be intentional with everything. So anytime I have a platform, anytime I can spread anything, I'm going to use that and just speak my truth and be an example. Because for me, if a girl can look at me and be like, oh, wow, that girl from London or Greenford, or that girl from Jamaica, or that girl who had her baby at a young mum, or that skinny girl, that tall girl, if she can do it, I can do it. So it's important that, yeah, I can be that person.
Beautiful. Before we open up, we're going to have audience questions. I'm sure a lot of people want to ask questions. The last thing I want to ask you, because I think everybody has, voices in their head, and I read something where you were talking about just grappling with negative voices from when you were young. And I found personally that the voices never really go away, but it's just what you choose to pay attention to. So how do you navigate that, and what is your advice for anybody who has loud negative voices in their head, especially being a model, especially being somebody who is in the limelight?
I realize that the voices in my head are not real and that I actually control them. Because if we was to do it right now, go in and say hi in your head, you're gonna stop and say hi. Then you realize I'm actually controlling my thoughts. So therefore, why not control it to, when it does come up, go, instead of going left, everybody goes left, go right. Like I said, I feel like people are addicted to negativity. Just as soon as that thought comes up, just swap it for something else. So it's a practice, it's a journey, but I feel like I'm starting to master it because now I just don't focus on that. I just don't pay it any mind. And even in my low days, I take it for what it is. I'm like, okay, you've been lacking in that, and you need to actually take some time and relax, or you need to read, or you need to meditate, or you need to be in your body and move, or you need to be around your friends and family. I treat it as a reminder that I need to be on my game. And then I treat it as like a little doubt, because I feel like sometimes doubt is quite healthy. So when those self-doubt comes in, I'm like, okay, I see you. I see what you're trying to do now. I see that you're trying to slip me up, but nah, I ain't going that way. I'm gonna go over there. So you can stay there, but I'm gonna go there. But saying that sounds so easy, but like I said, it's a practice.
And it's a journey.
It's a journey.
Okay, let's get some questions. Thank you so much.
I need some water.
Wow, look, we have very eager.
Hi, Jourdan.
Hi.
My name is Amaka. I'm a fashion model. I'm modeling for GTCO Fashion Weekend. And yeah, I just wanted to say I'm a big fan of yours. I've been following you for the longest time, actually. I started using Maybelline because of you. And yeah, so I wanted to ask a question. How long is too long? Because you talked about not giving up. So, and we know how there's an age limit in the modeling industry and everything. So I just wanted to ask how long is too long before you give up? If you should keep going, and like basically your take on that. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Ah, mate. Okay, so you know what? I actually don't know, because I've experienced with some friends, and in my head, I could probably think maybe it's time for you to think about other options. But for them, it's like, no, I know this is my destiny. This is what I want. I desire this. So it's like, who am I or anybody to tell someone you should give up? I feel like you will know within yourself. You will know. I feel that's a question that you would have to look within and be like, have I still got it in me? Do I still have that willpower? Do I still really want it? So yeah, it's not for me. I realize it's never ever for anyone to tell you when to give up. It's down to you.
Okay.
So that's all I can say.
Hi, Jourdan. I'm a model as well, and I'm such a super fan. So your answer transitions to my question, which is, so now knowing within yourself, if to stop or keep going, or like if it's something you really want to keep doing, like, oh, it's my destiny, I feel like I should be doing this. I just wanted to ask. Sorry?
Sorry, do you say feel like a sheep?
No, feel like you should keep doing.
Oh, sorry, I got bad ears.
So I wanted to ask, like, first off, how did you deal with, the rejections with casting directors, when you have hopes of, like, doing some certain shows or booking some certain jobs, as an international model? Dealing with the constant rejections, even knowing that, I think I'm good enough for this. I think I have what it takes to actually, like, book this job. Because I've been in that position like so many times. I've worked in Europe, Milan Fashion Week and London Fashion Week and stuff. That's one. And then obviously I feel like, okay, I'm meant to do this as a model, and I know like I'm this good, but like sometimes it just like the whole experience just weighs me down, and I'm like, oh my God, do I really want to stop? Should I keep going? So I feel like the enthusiasm that I have, or the motivation I have to keep going, sometimes like is like really down, and I'm like, not sure. So like, how do you just deal with, not getting or booking some certain jobs, or like the rejections with casting directors and Fashion Week and all of those? Yeah, that's my question.
Thank you for your question. The way that I deal with rejection, especially in the industry, I just don't take it personal. I just don't take it personal. I don't attach it to me, even though that's such a weird concept, because it is you, it's your body, it's your face, it's everything. But I'd be like, that's your problem, it's not mine. it's nothing that I can do. I just didn't fit that collection, or I'm just not what you're looking for. Doesn't mean that for next job I'm not gonna be that, do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't take it personal anymore, and I just know that you're one casting away, one show away, one post away of going viral, you're just one step away. So like, just don't give up. And your other question, I just know that anything worth having takes dedication and hard work. If it was easy, then everybody and their mums and grands would be in that position. So like I said, you have to make that decision and actually be like, is my desire strong enough? And know that, okay, it's hard right now, but the end of it is going to be so beautiful. So I hope that helps. It's not too easy. Sorry.
Hi, Jourdan Dunn, and hi everybody from GTCO. My name is Diamond, all the way from Abuja.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Don't worry, you're going to hear me very well.
Can you speak into the microphone
The question I
properly?
want to ask is about artists, and particularly Nigeria itself. Due to the fact, like, from UK down to Canada upward, there are many sponsors that can be able to sponsor people, but from in Nigeria here, it's very difficult for us. Like, I'm a musical artist, but for so long I've been trying to move on, but it's so difficult for me because I don't have money, no things to sponsor, very difficult. Anything you want to do in Nigeria is all about money. If you don't have money, then you fucked off, and I don't like that shit though.
Can I? I didn't hear him.
Just keep, I'm gonna answer for Jourdan. Just keep hustling, just keep going. Your break is coming. Nigeria is a hard place, but you got this. Okay?
Hi, Jourdan. Should I stand up?
Stand up.
Okay. Hi, Jourdan. I'm Abigail Ajobi. I'm a fashion designer and fellow Londoner. Hey, girl.
Hey.
So my question is, I really wanted to ask you the top 3 tips that you would give to keep going every day, like in terms of like mental health, because I feel like as I'm achieving more in my career, I very much have like imposter syndrome, meeting new people every day, doing London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, even like speaking to buyers and just like even asking this question to you. I know you said you were nervous speaking up there. What would be like your top 3 tips for mental health, like every day? What do you do? Do you like pray, or like what is like your top 3 tips if you had to narrow it down?
Thank you. Oh my God, imposter syndrome is so real. I experience that all the time. Whenever I have a big event, for instance, my first time going to the Met Gala, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on the runway and Victoria Beckham is there, or J-Lo's there, I'm on this table and I'm on a table with all of these icons and there's just me. What can I give? I get into my head and think, is anything that I say is interesting? Can they relate? Do they really care? You just get in your head. And I feel like all those voices just makes you small. So it's like, for me, what helps me is knowing and understanding that I am worthy and that I'm supposed to be here. And I'm not going to be small. I'm going to stand up tall. Like, all my life, I've been tall and I've been wanting to like be small, but now I like embrace that. Now I wear the highest heels. Now I wear what I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just about learning to know. No, not learning. Knowing that you are worthy. Things that helps me on a daily basis is affirmations, affirming that to yourself. I pray. Recently I've discovered prayer again and connecting to divine and knowing that God has me and I am God's child and God has given me these divine gifts and talents, and it's my duty to the divine to express that and show that to the world. And I'll be doing a disservice to myself and everyone if I be small, if I stay at home, if I don't speak, if I'm not here with you all. So there's that. Journaling is also amazing to do, just to put your thoughts to paper. And then it's amazing when you, after a week or a month, you look back at yourself and you see just the small changes. You're like, oh, wow, I've actually grown. I've actually leveled up. Also, doing something that brings you joy. I don't know, it could be just dancing in your living room. It could just be cooking, going out with, I don't know, but finding joy in everything you do also helps. So I feel like you just have to just tap into you and figure out what makes me happy, what brings joy into my life, and make sure that you bring that every day. Because there's joy in tiny small things, but it makes such a big impact. So yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry. My name is Dami. I'm a copywriter. I'm so sorry. My name is Dami. I'm a copywriter. I want to ask you a question. You were talking about how sometimes when you became happy, like you wanted something and you got it, but you didn't become happy. What happened after that? How did you overcome such? Because let's say I'm hoping to get into Guaranteed Trust Bank, and I get into Guaranteed Trust Bank, and I'm not happy, but I've already got into the bank. How do I overcome such mood? Like, what happens when that happiness doesn't come from something you desired so much and something you waited for?
Thank you. So wait, how do you get what you want? Oh, so when you get what you want and you're not happy, that's what it is? I think it's all about leaning into gratitude and being grateful and being thankful that you have the opportunity, that you're here, I realized that gratitude is legit the key to everything. So even when something happens that doesn't go your way, you're like, you know what? I'm grateful for this lesson. I'm going to take it for a lesson, knowing that the lesson's going to then equal to a blessing, and I'll keep it moving. I'll hold on to that and keep it pushing. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Okay, final question. Make it good.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jourdan.
Hi.
My name is Ayomide. Actually, the thing is, I'm a graphics designer, and
Graphic.
yeah, and the most interesting thing is that I'm not really more into fashion like that. The only thing that make me, let me say, get into fashion is the graphics aspect. I'm a management student as well. I just finished my bachelor's in accounting. So what I want to ask is that, as a management person, and I'm also a media person, because what I'm trying to do is that, in the nearest future, I'm trying to have a management company and also a media, like an audit firm and a media company as well, whereby there'll be graphics designing, content creation, and everything. So as a mental health therapist that you are, I'm asking a question that, okay, sorry, you are a model, but the topic here is mental health. I'm so sorry.
Yes, continue.
Yeah, I don't really know that much. That's why I filled the description. So what I'm trying to say is that, how can I merge both together, the accounting and the media thing together, and And how is it going to be balanced? Like, how can I do it to, like, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to ask.
Thank you. What is...
Jesus. Okay, so Jeez, don't. Okay, so he's a management. I'm gonna tell me if I'm correct. He's a management and he works in accounting as well. He's interested in different things and he wants to learn how to manage both, how to balance both. So I think the answer is more about balance. How does he balance? How do you find balance and keep your mental health in check?
Okay. I would say it's about wait, what am I trying to say? It's about just prioritizing things and doing things in small bits, but also knowing that you can do it all if you really want to. You don't just have to just be a manager and that's it. You have many layers, and if there's other areas, you can do it, but it's about prioritizing and just being smart in the way that you do things so that you don't run yourself dry and empty where you'll feel like, this is too much to me. So just be smart in the way that you work and not trying to overwork yourself. So be smart in your decision makings. I hope that makes sense.
I think that's great. And
yeah,
honestly, thank you so much. This could have been a very different class. We could have learned the technical aspects of modeling. We could have spoken about all of your many, many, many Vogue covers, but you chose to go deeper. You chose to be raw with us. So thank you for sharing yourself with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Last masterclass.
Oh, yay! Thank you guys for holding this space for me. Honestly, like, the energy has been amazing, and thank you for making me feel so at home and feel so comfortable to speak for you. So, like, big round of applause for all of you guys, honestly.